It is with heartfelt sorrow we announce the passing of Victor Ignatius Paul, also known as Vic, Giancamo, Toto, or Dad. He passed away on Thursday, 9th June 2022 at 11:03 a.m. at the OKEU hospital. He was 77 years old. He was a loving husband, father, grandfather, uncle, and friend. He was originally from Canaries, but resided at Conway and Lance Road, Castries. At the time of his passing, he resided in Cicero, Castries. He was predeceased by his wife, Mary Leah Herman Paul, who passed away on July 8, 2021. He leaves to celebrate his life 5 sons. Terence Paul, also known as Sauti or Coco, residing in Mornier, Granivier, Groselet, a stevedore. Brian Paul, residing in Moshi, employed with Royalton Resort. Davis Paul, also known as Gearbox, residing in the CDC Castries, employed with the Ministry of Health. Christopher Herman, also known as Tata or Kito, residing in the CDC Castries, a stevedore. Michael Paul, residing in Cicero Castries, employed with Advanced Caribbean Limited. 3 daughters. Olivia Herman Paul, residing in Cayenne. Beverly Henry, residing in the U.S. Diane Jasmine Paul, residing in Cicero Castries, employed with Digicel. 4 adopted sons. Neil Gittins, also known as Ilaman. Curtis Alphonse, also known as Redmond or Fingers, and Barry Alphonse, both residing in Trinidad. Terry Bissett, also known as Papayo, residing in Cicero Castries. 13 grandsons. Terence Victor Paul, also known as Lucky, residing in Cicero. Trent and Trey Hillman, residing in Mornier, Granivier, Groselet. Taj and Kobe Bartlett, residing in Mornier. Denzel Paul, also known as Red Boy, residing in Cicero, employed with CPJ Fresh Markets. Trevon Paul, residing in Cicero, who was also his caregiver. Dan Paul, residing in Anguilla. McLean Jaden Sherbin, a grade 5 student of the Cicero RC Primary School. Francois Gomard, Danny Rotham, and Ricky Pinard, all residing in Cayenne. 4 granddaughters. Kiana Leandra Henry, residing in the U.S. Tanisha Paul, residing in Cicero, employed with The Cell. Rwanda Ella Herman, a Form 5 student of the Entrepot Secondary School. Kenya Herman, a Form 2 student of the Corinth Secondary School. 1 great-grandson, Lenaik Gomard, residing in Cayenne. 1 granddaughter-in-law, Maya Drysdale, also known as Juju of La Clary. 3 brothers, Cyril Paul, residing in the UK. Peter Paul, also known as Tikamo, residing in La Clary. Hellard Francis McLaurin of Trinidad. 2 sisters, Warner Solomon and her family, Cynthia Joseph and her family. Many nieces and nephews, including Laura Paul and her family, residing in the UK. Antonia Joseph and her family, residing in Vifor. Tony and Troy Paul, residing in the UK. Tyrone Etienne, residing in the UK. Sons-in-law, Samson Henry, residing in the U.S. McLean Sherbin, also known as Marcus, residing in Cicero. Daughters-in-law, Tessa Bartlett, residing in Mornier, Grenovier. Atalia Seraphin, residing in Goodlands. Francisca Motley, residing in Mornier. Cousins: Mark DeMille, residing in Vieux-Fort. Didine and her family of Cicero. Families: Chad Setage, Lucas Paul, Helena Jarvis, Catherine Paul, Sylvester Paul, Brother Solomon Paul, Sophia Paul, Paul Paul and their families of Castries and Canaries, the Paul families of Babonneau, Canaries, Monchy, and the UK, the Lancico families of Osselare, Castries, and Canaries, the Mondesi families of Canaries, the Langelier families of Canaries, the Henry families of Grenovier-Groseillers, the Celestin families of Castries, the Walters families of Sanssouci Castries, the Motley families of Rockall. Closest friends: neighbor Isidore Dalson, also known as Dor, and family of Cicero. Marcella Alexander of Sanssouci Castries and her family. Anna Charles of Mornier, Grenovier-Groseillers and her family. Herman Prosper, also known as LVD of East Winds. Mark Philip, also known as Lord Jackson. Myrtle Pierre. Sam Jugwa Flood of Grenovier-Groseillers. Jimmy and Charlene O'Killian of Grenovier-Groseillers. Vaughn, Merlina, and Mr. L. and their families, all of Cicero. Cletus Peter, residing in Brooklyn, New York, and his family. Mary Martha of Cicero Castries and her family. Miss Annette of Cicero Castries and her family. All his friends at Camilla's Bar. The boys in the CDC, including Alva, Buju, Aldrich, and Figme. Pons and Nupi of Georgeville, the staff of the Ministry of Health, staff of Capital Kitchen, Ambi and J Mouse. His bus drivers Nigel, Yellow, Bolo, Arbad, and Yuyu. The life celebration of Victor Ignatius Paul, also known as Vic, Jean Camo, Toto, or Dad, will be held at the Minor Basilica of the Immaculate Conception in Castries on Friday, July 8, 2022 at 2:30 p.m. The body will then be interred at the Shock Cemetery. A touch of yellow is requested to be worn for those attending the funeral service. The Paul family expressed their heartfelt thanks to all well-wishers. The family requests to mourn in private after the funeral service. May he rest in peace.